What happens if Hazel decides tomorrow she would now like to be a girl or a boy? I don't...
Well, then I would support that. Hazel, is totally allowed to continue to explore their gender and have it evolve. Gender isn't always a static thing for some people.
And what is Sparrow?
Being
what is
non-binary
Sparrow?
and using they, them is what they want right now.
Okay, and if Sparrow, when she gets to, say, 3 or even 2, when they can first start to talk, if her first words are, I want to be non-binary, or I want to be a boy, or I want to be a girl, would you just respect anything that a 2-year-old child would say? You accepted a 4-year-old's insistence on changing gender. Would you accept a 2-year-old?
I would accept that child was exploring. I think that at that age, gender
Ari, a child of 2
is not set in stone.
I'm sorry to be the stick in the mud here. A 2-year-old kid hasn't got a Scooby-Doo about any of this stuff. The idea that you would literally, the idea that you would even,
if my kid said that they wanted to pretend to be Scooby-Doo, I would play along. I'd follow the child.
The idea that you as a parent would even countenance the idea that a 2-year-old child has any ability to form any serious perception of gender, I think, frankly, I put it to you respectfully, is utterly ridiculous and actually damaging to that child.
Well, then in that case, if a 2-year-old child, as you say, genuinely has no ability to conceptualize gender, isn't it toxic and bizarre that at 2, we are telling someone you are a boy because of your anatomy? If that 2-year-old genuinely can't conceptualize of what a boy is, isn't it make more sense that if a 2-year-old genuinely has no ability to process what a gender is, as you said, that I don't, tell them what their gender is, and I don't emphasize gender constantly. I let them be what they are, which is a toddler.
Say you offer structure. What could be more of a structure than actually saying to your child, this is your name and that's your name? And if when you get to be an adult, you want to change your name, then you become your own adult, your own responsibility, you take your own decisions. Part of being a parent is until a child reaches adult age, actually the parent takes these decisions. What are you doing as a parent?
But I guess
as a parent, you're saying just get on with it.
Is that I feel that what you're expressing is a bit of childism, which is assuming that someone has to be a legal adult to have the capacity to know themselves.
Childism is a new one.
And I think a child can explore identity.
All right, Ari, I've heard just about every ism imaginable. I've never heard. I've been accused of every ism, and I'm struggling with this new world of isms, right? What is childism?
You're against children making their own decisions.
I believe that, childism is the normalization of the mistreatment of children just because they're young. Assuming that they can't have opinions or ideas, that they can't, obviously they do need guidance and structure, but mistreating them or treating them like property or denying their identity and autonomy.
So giving a child a gender because of its anatomy, assuming that they're boy or girl, or giving them a name, all that would be childism from your point of view?
Not giving them, but forcing them to use them regardless of what the child wanted.
So if a 3-year-old child decides, I'm no longer a boy or girl, I'm no longer going to be called Bob, I want to be called Doris, whatever it may be, if a 3-year-old child decides to do that, and I object and say, no, your name is Bob, not Doris, and you're a boy, not a girl, at 3, then I'm guilty of childism.
Potentially, yes.